Hi, I'm Gia. It's my first time participating in the Zygopetalum Carecollab. These Carecollabs were created by Nina from Ynse Orchids. These are the participating channels. Check out the other channels. We live in different environments and have our own way of growing zygos. Where do I grow my zygos? I grow them indoors in 2 areas. One area is this guest room. Here I use a 36-watt Ynse grow bulb. The other area is the terrarium enclosure. There's a 24-watt Ynse grow bulb on each side. Temperature and humidity. In the enclosure, the temperature ranges from the high 70s to the low 60s, and humidity about 40 to 80%, depending on the season. The guest room, on the other hand, is much cooler. The temperature ranges from the low 70s to the high 50s, and humidity at about 60 to 80%. What potting media do I use? I like using the Fertilizing bark mix. It has lava rocks, bark, charcoal, and peat. Sometimes I will add pebbles, perlite, and/or cocoa husk. As far as pots go, I use both plastic and terracotta. Although the majority are in plastic pots. In regards to watering, I mostly use rainwater. I do also use tap water. I try to be as careful as possible when I water, not to get any water on any part of a new growth, including the base. Due to the lack of proper airflow, if the plant tissue gets wet, it's likely to rot. It's not good practice, but I tend to underwater my plants, and I wait for the pseudobulbs to wrinkle. As is the case in this footage, it's been 4 weeks since I last watered. In the summer months, I tend to water about once a week. And in the colder months, approximately once every 3 to 4 weeks. Air movement. On average, the air circulation is poor. I only use a fan for 3 days after watering. Fertilizing. Last year, I started using the MSU fertilizer. I've been fertilizing every time I water, at approximately 50 to 100 ppm. Sometimes I switch it up and supplement with CalMag. What problems have I encountered? I have 2 orchids with the same issue. They produce new growths that spike in flower, but then the new growths dry up. It happened twice with the Zygopetalum snowbird Kyla. Here's another example. This Zygopetalum Fernanda has produced a spike, but if you can see over here, the new growth has already faded. Is it the underwatering or something else? Here are some updates. Notara Lucy sassafras. I've had this orchid for 9 months. It's produced a spike under my care, and it'll be a first-time bloomer. And what's exciting is I just noticed a second spike. It's also producing a nice mass of roots. Zygopetalum Mathena Meadows. I've had this orchid almost a year and a half. It has a new growth. I really hope it spikes since it's been a while since it flowered. Galeopetalum Starburst Parkside. It finally established a nice root system. And it's now producing 2 new growths. Zygopetalum Louisendorf Rain Moonlight. I recently found out my cat loves zygo leaves. This is a freebie orchid. I've only had it 5 months. It's producing a new growth and lots of roots. Propetalum La Jolla Delight. It just finished maturing a growth and is now producing a new growth. The root system has reached the bottom of the pot. Zygopetalum Carecollab. This one has bigger pseudobulbs than the other one. It's growing a nice new growth. Also, I really like this hitchhiker fern. Subotara Melinda Marie Blue Moon. It's maturing a new growth. It just finished blooming not too long ago. It's my oldest zygotype. I've had it almost 4.5 years. It's taken plenty of neglect, but it's a hardy orchid. Zygopetalum Mac L crossed with Zygonesia Synosia Bluebird. It has produced 2 new growths. They're getting bigger, so not sure if they'll spike. I like how lush it looks. Zygopetalum Macii. It just recently lost its 2 bottom leaves from my underwatering. It's been growing slowly but surely. Ynse Cheyenne Marie Green Gecko. Its leaves recently started yellowing. I've kept this one too wet for too long. Or perhaps it could be a nutritional deficiency. It has put out 2 new growths, so I'm happy about that. Zygopapstia Dragon Kitten Purr. It wasn't doing too well when I got it, but it's finally established a nice root system and produced a new growth. Zygopetalum Debbie DeMello Honolulu Baby. I've had this one 7 months. It recently formed a new growth. and it's maturing another one. This is my second Debbie DeMello. The first one I totally ruined, but I've learned from my mistakes. That's one of the reasons it's in a terracotta pot. Another Zygopetalum Louisendorf Rain Moonlight. I've had this one longer than the other Louisendorf. Check out this ridiculous root formation. And it's also forming a spike. I have several other zygos, but I will not show them today. Nothing exciting is happening. They're either maturing growths or establishing roots. I'm sorry if I mispronounced any of the names. Thanks for watching!